And good afternoon.
Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
Good afternoon, Wildcat fans. John Ball, Matt Ball with you in a blustery Carthage, Missouri. We are just outside the ballpark here, and as maybe you can see, that flag in dead center field is blowing just as hard and fast as it can. The weatherman says that we're getting gusts up to 27 miles an hour, but I'm not real sure that that's the case. I think we're considerably more than that. We apologize for the wind blowing. I bet you it's blowing 35 mile an hour.
At least.
Yeah, at least. It is blowing right into our back, and that flag is sticking straight out. We're at a brand new ballpark, a ballpark that Mercy, McCune-Brooks Hospital in Neosho has made this possible. So we'll have the first pitch thrown out by an old Neoshoite, Matt Millard, who is the maintenance manager for McCune-Brooks Mercy here in Neosho. But as you can see, this ballpark is 320 down the left field line. It's 375 in dead center field, where that flag is blowing straight out, and then it's 320 down the right field line. So talking with Coach Berge, Matt, he said, he doesn't like this wind any more than we do, and he said, if I'm going to win, I want to win outright. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose outright. I don't want to be because someone hit a pop fly and the wind caught it.
Well, that's liable to happen tonight. I'll just tell you that right now.
It could very well happen. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, your tire and auto center. We're going to take this time out, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to take 30 seconds today to encourage you to pray, because our prayers have the power to move heaven. James 5 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we pray, God listens. When we pray, situations can change. When we pray, miracles can happen, and heaven moves on our behalf, simply because we pray. Take some time today and pray. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the four-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride. At Missouri,
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10-plus acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
And welcome back to Carthage, Missouri, to the Carthage baseball field, and we are so happy to be here. We said the wind is blowing pretty good. The Cats are out on the field right now, and they are taking their warm-ups. Carthage comes in with a record of 13-7, having just beat a really tough Branson team, Matt, by a score of 3-2. They're coached by Kevin Berge, who's in his second year as the head coach. He came over from McDonald County. They returning 8 players from a team last year that was 16-17. Now, that may not seem like a whole lot, but the year before that, they won only 3 ball games, so this is most definitely a ball club that is in improvement, and they're producing the whole way. Their roster almost leads like their football schedule. Quarterback Brody Carlson will be playing shortstop, and the speedy Langston Morgan will be out in center field. We've seen him play, and he's a wide receiver for them. He stole 17 bases last year. And then, of course, they've got other ball players as well that are excited. Carthage finally got their home field, and the reason we're talking about this ball field today is because 2 years ago and even last year, they ended up playing their home games over at Joplin. So, Matt, literally they played every home game as an away game.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, it's got to be a good feeling having their own field. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach Berge says that they're improving, they're improving substantially, and their record shows it. They sure are. The Cats are coming in with a record of 15-6 after beating Republic in a rain delay ball game the other night, 6-0, where we saw Brody Crane pitch almost with 1 out left in the 7th inning, and then he got pitch counted out, but he scored 10 strikeouts. Alex Rodriguez came in and got the save for the Cats with the last out. That game also produced a couple of 2-hit performances, one of them by Canton Smith. There were 8 Cats altogether that hit the ball that night, Matt.
Yeah,
it was an exciting ball game, and Cats had a tough week, but we think we're riding the ship and think we're moving forward. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center. We're going to be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us, it's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, Pro Lube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
Pro Lube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
A swimmer was caught in a strong current and close to drowning. Suddenly, a life jacket was thrown within reach. He grabbed the life jacket and it saved his life. Sometimes we feel like we're drowning in the problems of life. Maybe it's financial, marital, or job related. Where can we find hope? Jesus is our rescuer and wants us to reach out to him. Learn more. Call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
My name's Pastor James for the Neosho Church of the Nazarene. Just have a privilege here to share with you a word of encouragement today. You know, in the world in which we live, people are always making plans. We're trying to navigate through life, and sometimes life can be kind of complicated and rather layered as we're trying to figure out direction and trajectory and all of these things. But the Bible tells us to commit all of our plans to the Lord, to trust in the Lord with all our heart, to lean not on our own understanding, to acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He will make our path straight. I'm a firm believer that the Lord has incredible plans for our lives, and so many times we deviate from those because we get to chasing after all of these other things that are out there in the world. The Bible tells us that before we were even born, that the Lord had things that He wanted our lives to accomplish. And so I would just encourage all of you today, and I don't think it's by accident that you've stumbled across this video, and I would just encourage you to seek the Lord, to lean in and to find out what He has for your life, because I promise you that will be the best life that you could live. May the Lord bless you. Hope you have a wonderful day.
And welcome back to Joplin, Missouri, or Carthage, Missouri. It is time for Keys to the Cats. Keys to the Cats are being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Eric Norris in Neosho. It's located at 437 West Kohler Street in Neosho. Eric and his team have a variety of insurance services for the individuals and businesses. The game, you can see what all he has by going online to ericnorrisinsurance.com or by telephone 417-451-6666. Go Cats! And that's exactly what we're expecting today, Matt. We're going to go. C for the Cats stands for combine. Thursday night, we combined great pitching with great hitting and great defense. We've scored an average of 3.8 runs per game and allowed only 3.2 runs. In our 21 games, that means that we've scored 178 runs and given up only 80. The offense is great and entertaining, but let's face it, defense is what wins ball games.
Yeah.
A stands for acumen, baseball acumen, and our defense has got it. We know where and what to do with the baseball when we're on defense. This team has got more double plays than any other team that I've seen thus far in my 6 years. And it's because they have a second sense about what to do in this ball game. They've got great IQ. T stands for transformation. This team is due to the desire of each player and their pursuit of excellence. It's this bunch of kids just thinks about it, and they've been thinking about this for months and months, and now it's time for them to be the real deal. It's like Mark Twain said, if you eat a live bullfrog in the morning, anything you do after that is going to be uphill. Well, these cats have eaten the bullfrog for a long time. S, let's satisfy our desire tonight with a win over a constantly improving Carthage Tiger baseball team. Let's take a step up the ladder for success one more time. And then Thursday night, we want to invite everybody to come to Neosho when the Willard Tigers, who are number 2 in Class 5 in the state, will be coming to town. Should be a real test, but it should be a great ball game for our Cats.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it will. It'll be a really tough ball game. We're excited to get this thing underway. We're going to take time out again, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back.
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him Can you be safe for all eternity? He proved it by his blood when he died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And welcome back to Carthage, Missouri, a windblown day, and we're getting ready to introduce the Cats. The PA system has started out. The Cats being the home visitors will start out with number 24, Finn Versluis. He wears number 8. Then it's 11, Jaden Nichols, who will play third base. Versluis is playing center field. Then number 34 is Canton Smith. He's the catcher. Number 13 is the left fielder, Drake Jennings. Number 27 is Liam McInturf. He will be the DH. Playing first base and batting in the 6th hole is Brody Crane. Then it will be Alex Rodriguez, the right fielder. Jaden Fisher plays second base, and we wind up with Hudson Williams, who plays shortstop. The pitcher is going to be Boston Patterson tonight, and with the wind blowing the way it is, I guess we'll see how much his curveball floats, Matt.
Yeah.
And for the Joplin Tigers, Nate Nichols is the left fielder. He'll bat first. Jordan Bennett will be the third baseman. He wears number 2 and bats second. In the third spot, number 18 is Cooper Lindenkamp, plays right field. His brother Blaine Lindenkamp, number 25, will be pitching. In the 5-hole, number 24 is Nolan Brown, and he plays first base. In the 6th spot is number 10, Brady Carlson, and he plays shortstop. Number 34 is Cooper Jackson. He is the second baseman. Zach Hounshell is the DH, and he'll bat 8. And then the speedster that we talked about, Langston Morgan, will be in center field. Brock Bridges is their flex, and he will be behind the plate. So the Cats will be ready to get things started here in just a minute or two. We'll have the national anthem, and then we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. Start the national anthem going here in just a minute. And with that, we're just about ready to get the ball game underway. The Cats come in with a record of 15-6. They are coached by Keith Kilgore, and he is also assisted by Drew Osborne and Marcus Crawford. So we're excited about getting this ball game underway. As we said earlier, Carthage comes in with a record of 11-7. And on the mound is Blaine Lillenkamp. He's a good-sized young man. He is ready to throw the ball down. The second, his battery mate is Bronx Bridges. So, for Carthage around the horn, it's Bennett Carlson. It is Jackson Cooper Fisher. Cooper Jackson, I'm sorry. We'll get it right here in just a minute. And Nolan. And we're just about ready to get things going. And Linderkamp throws. Looks like he's throwing a fastball, and the ball goes down to second base. Goes over the second or the shortstop and is backed up by the second baseman. Cats have got to get things going and get going fast, and we will do that. And there's a good crowd here tonight from Carthage, and there's a few Neosho fans here as well. Here's Finn Versluis. Finn needs to get on base for the Cats. Seems like if we can get him on base, then we get things going. And there's the first pitch, and it's outside for a ball. We apologize if you can't see a very good picture with the wind blowing. This is the best we can do. Here comes the next pitch underway. There's call strike one right down the middle. That evens the count at 1-1 on the center fielder, Finn Versluis. Yeah, there's a ball outside. 2 balls and a strike. Jaden Nichols, Canton Smith, and Drake Jennings up for the Cats in the top half of the first. And there's a ball that is ball 3 on the outside. Even though the catcher Bridges tried his very best to frame that in, home plate umpire was not having any of it. It was a ball. So 3-1's a count on Versluis. And there's ball 4. So Versluis is over on first. Looks down at head coach Keith Kilgore. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a ball high. Versluis taking a pretty good lead off of first base.
We're going to talk about it.
Move back just a little bit. Take time out. We're going to come talk about it, and we'll see just exactly what's going on. Apparently, Lindenkamp, the coach, is thinking about something. He's seeing a little something in his delivery. And home plate umpire goes out and breaks things up. So, and there is a ball and no strikes. Versluis is on first base, and third baseman Nichols is up to bat. There's a ball low and outside. That's ball 2. Would not surprise me to see Nichols take a couple more, Matt. He might as well with the number of balls that Linderkamp is throwing. And there's back over to first base, but Versluis is back in plenty of time. Here comes the third pitch from Linderkamp. And they got away from the runner, and Versluis is down to second base. That was a stolen base play that time. If Versluis had seen it with his speed, he may have gotten around to third base, but he did exactly what he needed to do. 3 balls and no strikes on Jaden Nichols. Stands in there, waves the bat just a little bit. Looks like he's going to bunt. He pulls it back, and there's ball 4. So that sets the table.
Looks like they got a guy going to the bullpen already.
Mm-hmm. That sets the table for Canton Kenton Smith, we have seen Kenton Smith knock the ball out of the ballpark, and this would be a good time for that right here if Kenton gets a pitch. The wind would help it a bunch if he gets the ball up in the air. There's the first pitch.
Strike.
Strike one to call. Jennings. Thanks. We're trying to get our players around here a little bit. We're in an odd position, and they're swung on for foul ball strike two. So after walking two, Linderkamp gets ahead of Kenton Smith with no balls and 2 strikes. Kenton steps in. He'll have to protect the plate now. There's a look, and there's Finn over on the second base, and he's jumping back and forth around, and there's nobody there, so he gets back in plenty of time. It's exactly what the Cats need to do, Matt.
It's what we do the best.
That's what we do the best. We need to get the pitcher where he's paying more attention to the base runners. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a ball high. Count now's a ball and 2 strikes on catcher for Neosho, Kenton Smith. You adjust that helmet just a little bit, and he gets right back in there. Here comes the pitch, and there's another ball high. That evens the count at 2-2. Cats have got runners on first and second, nobody out. We're in the top of the first inning in Carthage, Missouri. And steps back in, spread, and there's got him, strike 3. So there's the first out. And here is number 13, Drake Jennings. I got away, and there's going to be a double steal on, and everybody is going to move up. So Versluis goes to third, and Nichols goes to second, and that is ball 1 on left fielder Drake Jennings. Comes the next pitch from Van Linderkamp, and it is high. So 2 balls and no strikes. Linderkamp having trouble here in the first inning trying to find the strike zone. However, he did strike out Camden. There's the next pitch, and that is a ball. Next up for the Cats is McInturf, and there is a
call strike.
Comes the next pitch, and there's a high foul ball. It's going to be out of play. So that runs the count full. Runners on second and third for the Cats. Jennings was 1 for 3 in that ball game the other night, and there's a ball high, and he walks. So that walks the bases loaded, and there is 1 out. There's a designated hitter, Ian McInturf. He steps in, then it'll be Brody Crane. There's the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. He steps back to the batter's box in the back of it. Linderkamp comes with a pitch, and they're swung on, and those took a little something off of that, and he got ahead of it, so that makes the count no balls and 2 strikes on the designated hitter for the Wildcats.
Base hit would be good.
Yeah, got him, strike 3. So there's 2 outs now, and here's Brody Crane. Brody helped his own cause the other night with a single. He steps in with the bases loaded. ball. That'll make the count 2, no balls and 2 strikes. Jaden Nichols, the second baseman, will be up next. Brody can just lift the ball with this wind. Got him swinging, strike 3. And the Cats go down. They walk the bases loaded, and then Linderkamp gets out of it. But there were 3 strikeouts in the inning. After a half inning of play, the Neosho Wildcats 0, and Carthage coming to bat. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. It's the bottom half of the first inning. This ballgame being brought to you by Josh Dodson. He's your Farm Bureau agent. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Calvary Baptist Church, Neosho Daily News, Crowder College, and your State Farm agent, Eric Norris. On the mound for the Neosho Cats is Boston Patterson. Boston's done just a little bit of everything. He has pinched. He has come in and started. He's come in relief. He's played a little third base and second base, and he's actually been a pinch hitter a time or two. And here comes his first pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. Now, Matt, we're going to see just exactly how much effect this wind has on pitchers, aren't we?
Tell you, he's a jack of all trades.
He certainly is. Here comes the next pitch, and that's low and outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. If you're just joining us, we're thankful that you're joining us. The bottom half of the first inning, the Cats were unable to score after loading the bases in the first. There's the next pitch, and Canton holds it in there, but the home plate umpire said no, that's another ball. So ball 2, 2 balls in 1 strike on Tate Nichols. Comes the next pitch, and that one's high and outside, ball 3. Nichols is the left fielder. He'll be followed by Jordan Bennett, and plays third base. Here comes the next pitch, and that's ball 4. So Carthage starts the same way the Cats did, with a walk. The third baseman steps in there. It'll be Cooper Linderkamp and then Blaine Linderkamp. There's a throwback over to first base. Made it a little bit closer than probably what Carthage would like for it to have been, but he got back in plenty of time. Boston looks down, looks over at first base, looks back at first. Here comes the next pitch, and that's fouled off for strike 1.
Well, we know their intentions.
Yes, we do. And with that, Nichols was off, and that was swung on. That was going to be a hit and run, but it was fouled off by Burnett. There's a throw back to first base again. Base umpire says no, he's safe. Just keeping him in there close, giving Canton a chance to throw him out for sure. Boston looks down, looks over at second base, looks back, and here comes the pitch, and that's a high fly ball, and it's going to drop in.
Boy, I thought that wind would have carried it farther, but it just died.
Yeah, I did. So, the first hit of the night, Jordan Bennett gets it, and he's on first base. Here is Cooper Lillenkamp. He plays right field, and he bats on the left-hand side of the. And here comes the first pitch. He's going to try to bunt it, and it bunts high and out almost over the backstop for strike one. Lillenkamp, and Brown for the Carthage Tigers. Here comes the next pitch, and that is bunted. It's laid down, and it's over to first base to the second baseman for the out. So 1-4, and there's one out, but the runners move up from second and third. Here's Blaine Lillenkamp, the pitcher. It was a nice bunt laid down that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
And it worked out just about perfect. Boston was able to field it and get it over to Fisher covering first base. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a hard hit ball, and it goes to second base and over to first for the out, but one run is scored. So Lillenkamp is out 4-3, and that's a second out. Here is the first baseman, Nolan Brown. Here comes the first pitch, and they're swung on strike one.
They ain't scared to throw at or swing at the first pitch, are they?
No, they aren't. They sure aren't. He steps in from the left. He bats left-handed as well. Here comes the next pitch for Boston. A little bit inside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. Carthage scored. There's a runner on third base. Up there is two outs. Here comes the next pitch underway and swung on, foul ball, strike two. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised at that ball that went out to center field and just kind of hung up there.
Yeah.
And Versluis was too. I mean, he was playing back.
Yeah, I know.
He was going to carry.
Yeah, he was moving. He was definitely trying to move up, but it died.
Yes, it did. Here comes the next pitch from Patterson. Oh, Canton was holding it. He thought that was a strike, but home plate umpire said inside, ball two. That evens the count at 2-2. Two outs, and we're in the bottom half of the first inning. Here comes the next pitch from Boston. Swung on, strike three.
Got him.
So, but there was damage done, and it was on a single by Bennett, and Nichols came on around to score. So at the end of one inning, the score is Neosho 0, the Carthage Tigers 1. The Cats come up to bat in the second inning. We'll be right back right after this.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
And welcome back to Carthage.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, go, go,
and the Neosho Wildcats are coming up to bat, it's going to be Jaden Fisher, the second baseman. It'll be followed by, well, it looks like it's going to be Hudson Williams, and then Rodriguez. So Hudson Williams. shortstop after the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. Jaden has been known to hit the ball right on the nose. Here comes the first pitch from Linda Camp. It's outside for a ball. And there's ball 2 on the outside. Camp comes with the next one. That swung on it. It's going to be fouled right back out here on top of us. So that will run the count. 2 balls and a strike.
Boy, that thing died in the air now.
Yes, it did. It sure did. In case you're just joining us, we're in Carthage, Missouri, and there's a ball that's hit. It's a ground ball. It goes over to third base. The third baseman gets up and makes the play over for the first out. So first out was a ground out 5-3 to Fisher, and here is the shortstop, Hudson Williams. After Hudson
Thank
Williams,
you, sir.
There's the first pitch to Hudson, and it's outside for a ball.
That is how hard the wind is blowing.
Yeah, it absolutely. Yeah, I'm not sure we want to put your phone up.
I know.
It may take off.
Crack out my phone.
There's the first pitch, and there's a foul ball straight back, and that evens the count at 1-1. Williams Rodriguez, and then the top of the batting order for the Cats. Hudson stands in there. He looks the pitcher down, and there's a foul ball that goes right back to the Carthage dugout. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. Linderkamp seems to have settled down just a little bit, and he seems to be finding the strike zone now, and the Cats are seeing if they can't tee off a little bit. And there is a high. Carlson calls for it, the shortstop, and he makes the play. Well, there's the second out of the side. And here is A-Rod. Rodriguez steps in, and then it will be Sluice.
I promise he's asking for eye drops.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. There's the first pitch, and it's a ball. There's the next pitch, and that's fouled back out of play. That evens the count at 1-1. Sluice gets in there, and he's getting ready. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high inside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike on right fielder Alex Rodriguez. Here comes the next pitch from Linderkamp, and that is a hard hit ball, and that may be going out of here.
See ya!
And it's see ya, home run, Alex Rodriguez! So just like that, the Cats bring it even with a home run by A-Rod.
Let's go!
Yeah. That ball got up there and went. Exciting! So now we're even at 1.
Yeah.
And here's Finn. You can see about the minute that ball came off. I'm not sure the wind helped it much. That was a hard hit ball.
Well, it had to help a little.
It helped it a little bit, but coming off of it like that. Here's for Sluice, and there's a swung on, and that's going to be a fair ball, and he's going to take 2 bases anyway, and he may go on around to third as the ball gets into, and he slides into second base. So Versluis gets a double. So the last 2 to face Linderkamp has been a home run and a double.
Never late to start. We got 2 outs.
There's Jaden Nichols. There's 2 away. He walked his last time up. And then it's Canton Smith. Nichols steps in. Versluis looking like he wants to run, and there's a swung on. He got way in front of it, strike 1. A little bit of a changeup that time, it looked like. Maybe a off-speed curveball. This ballpark has got houses just right out there behind it in left field. There's a ball that Catcher Bridges does a nice job of keeping in front of him.
It's a good block.
For Sluice would have been to third base. So Nichols has gone yard one time too, so don't overlook that one either. Lights are on here at the brand new Carthage ballpark. The Steadley Family Memorial Trust has helped out with this as well. And there's a call strike. Caught the outside corner. That'll even the count at 2-2. Jaden backs up, chokes up a little bit on the bat. He's getting ready. And Versluis is all the way to second. Thought he was going to get around, but Versluis steals third base.
That was a no.
That absolutely was a no. Nice
Stay.
job by Burnett, the third baseman, just to stop that ball. Here comes Jaden's next one. And there's a ground ball, and it could very well get into where it needs to be. And Jaden he's there.
Oh!
My goodness, he got him. Nice play that time by shortstop to the first baseman. But the Cats pick up a run on a towering home run. And the score now is 1-1, and we're getting ready to go into the bottom half of the second inning. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
And welcome back. It's the bottom half of the second inning. The score is tied thanks to a towering home run by Alex Rodriguez, the right fielder out there. This ball game is being brought to you by the Neosho School District, People's Bank of Seneca, Missouri Southern State University, Happy Egg, Compton CPA, First Community Bank, and Specialty Risk Insurance. And the batter up for Carthage is the shortstop, Brady Carlson. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats, and there's the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike one. Carlson, Jackson, and Helschel. Boston looks down. Here comes the second pitch, and that's swung on for a foul ball and go over to the Tigers dugout.
Slash locker room?
Yeah, slash locker room, that's for sure. No balls in two strikes on Carlson. There's a ball that's hits it. Shortstop Boston up with it, and we get the out. So the 6-3, and there's the first out. Williams made a nice play on that and got it over to Crane for the first out. Here's Cooper Jackson, the second baseman. Boston Patterson was going to make a play for that ball and then just let it go at the last minute, and rightfully so. Went on over to Williams. Here comes the first pitch, and swung on for strike one. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats. He shakes his head yes, and there's a foul ball right straight back, and that'll make the count 0-2 on Cooper Jackson. I thought the wind would calm down. Instead of that, it's just continuing to pick up, isn't it?
I mean, I'm having to hold everything with four arms.
Here comes the next pitch, and that was outside for a ball.
I don't have 4 arms.
I don't either. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes on Cooper Jackson. And here comes the next pitch from Boston. That's a
hit.
Little hit, goes over to Boston, over to first base for the out. So it was a check swing that got into fair territory and went from 1 to 3, and there's the second out. Here's Zach Hohenschel. He is the designated hitter tonight. 2 outs, the Cats need a 3 up, 3 down. There's a swung on for strike 1. Cats are playing just about straight back. The infield is back a little bit on almost to the outfield. That's a ball on the outside. They took a little something off of that one. Boston looks down, shakes his head. Here comes the pitch. And that was a ball inside. So the count now is 2 balls and a strike. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. Here comes Boston's next pitch. And that was a little bit outside. The count's now 3-1. Boston looks down, shakes his head. Here comes the next pitch. And swung on, and that's going to be fouled all the way back out into the parking lot for strike 2. So Hohenschel, the designated hitter, has taken Boston Patterson to a full count. Here comes the next pitch, and it's a ball, so he walks. Here's Langston Morgan, the center fielder. Then it'll be the top of the batting order: Tate Nichols, Jordan Burnett, and Cooper Lindekamp. Boston looks over at first base. Not a big lead off by Hohenschel. Here comes the first pitch, and that's swung on, and it gets through the center, and it's going to be picked up by the left fielder, Jennings, and he gets the ball back in, so everybody gets... Morgan gets a base hit, runners on first and second, and there's 2 outs. Here's Tate Nichols. He walked and came around and scored in the first inning. Langston was a first pitch swinger that time and just kind of put the ball on the bat. Here comes the first pitch from Boston, and that is a high can of corn. Underneath it is Williamson, who makes the play. So just like that, there was 1 hit, no errors, 2 people left on base, and after 2 innings of play, we're tied up 1-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
And it's the top half of the third inning from Carthage, Missouri. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Here's Canton Smith. He struck out his first time up. The wind has dropped just a little bit, which means it's down to about 20 miles an hour, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
Canton steps in there, and he looks down. Here comes a pitch from Linderkamp, and there is a hard-hit ball that is going to maybe drop in. And no, it is.
Oh!
Yeah, and the ball is dropped, but Canton gets back over, and nice try that time by Morgan, but the ground caused the fumble.
It was a good slide.
It really was. So the Cats have got somebody on first base, top half of the third inning, and here is Drake Jennings, who walked.
We got a pinch runner.
We've got a pinch runner, and we can't see exactly who it is. It looks like Blaine Patterson. And he steps off, and he looks down, and there comes first pitch, and it is in the inside corner, but it's low for ball one. Nice job again by Bridges to stop that ball and hang on to it so Patterson couldn't advance. Patterson steps out, takes a pretty good little lead. Linderkamp looks down, and he steps off. Jennings stands in there. Here comes the next pitch, and that's foul ball right off his toe. A little hit and run on by the Cats that time. And leaving the count at 1-1. Drake Jennings kind of being gingerly on that leg there for just a minute, rightfully so.
Came off that toe, man,
Yes,
that hurt.
Yeah. Excited about you being here with us today, Matt Ball and John Ball. This is a conference ball game. It is not a district ball game, as Carthage is in District 5. And Patterson over to first base in plenty of time. Back to first base in plenty of time. Blaine Linderkamp on the mound for the Tigers. Here comes the next pitch. And that is a ball low and outside. So that'll run the count to 2 balls and a strike. And Coach Kilgore over there on third base going through his list of signs. And off goes Flynn. And there's no way he gets in there. That was a nice throw. It was off just a little bit, but it was a good throw. It was there in plenty of time, but by the time Carlson got around to tagging, he tagged him, and the ball came out of his glove. So now Coach Kilgore's calling timeout. He wants to talk to Patterson, who's the younger brother of the pitcher Boston Patterson. I'm sure he's excited to try to pick up another run for his brother in this ball game. As we said, Carthage is in District 5. They are Class 6 District 5. The Cats are in Class 6 District 6. And right now, just a few percentage points ahead, vying for the top seed. And there's a ball high and outside. That runs the count full. There's no outs, and Cats have got a runner on second base. Cats with the victory the other night against Republic were able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Not only is Republic in our district, and we picked up a COC win, but we also picked up a district win. And there's a hard hit ball that is going over to the shortstop over to first base, but the runner goes on to third. So, we did his job. Jennings did 6-3, 1 out, but he moved the runner, Patterson, over to third base. Here's the designated hitter, Liam McInturf. McInturf struck out his first time up. He was way in front of a couple of pitches. And there's the first pitch. It's in there for call strike 1. Brody Crane, the first baseman, is on deck. McInturf steps in, looks around. Here comes the next pitch underway, and that ball is way outside. Nice job by Bridges just to corral that one. That'll even the count at 1-1. Carthage comes in with a record of 11-7. Here comes the next pitch. McInturf fouls that one off over into the Carthage dugout. And that'll be a ball and 2 strikes on the big designated hitter. McInturf steps in. He plays first base. He's a relief pitcher, but he's been designated hitting of late. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a ball outside. That'll even the count at 2-2. Pretty good crowd here tonight, certainly from Carthage, but there are a lot of Neosho fans coming in as well, fighting the wind to get here. Andy fouls that one back off, and we will start again. Even the count at 2-2. After Brody Crane, it will be the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. McIntyre steps in, and there's a ball. Puts his hand out. Nice job again by Bridges to keep that ball in front of him. Go-ahead run for the Cats is at third base. And there's another ball, and he walks. The Cats now have got runners on first and second. First baseman Brody Crane, and then it'll be the second baseman Jaden Fisher. Crane struck out his first time up. We're going to call timeout, and we're going to come back out. The pitching coach, I'm assuming, is coming out to talk about it for just a minute and see just exactly what kind of play the infield is going to have on with a runner on first and third. Home plate umpire says, yeah, this is about over with. Let's get going. And there's still a pitcher over in the Carthage bullpen.
Number 32.
Number 32.
That'd be Carson Kinder.
Carson Kinder is in the bullpen over there for Carthage. Crane has the ability to lift one up. We'll see if that happens. He got a single in the ball game the other night, but he's had a couple of, and there's a foul ball out in play. He's had a home run and a couple of ground rule doubles. So he steps in. He looks down at third base coach Kilgore. Here comes a pitch from Linderkamp. And he swung on for strike two. Timeout. And catcher Bridges has got a little something on his head, and he had to get it out of the way, and now we're back. We're ready to go again. One out, runners on first and third for the Cats. You look down, and Crane looks at the pitcher. Here comes the next pitch, and he got him strike three. So Crane strikes out for the second time of the night, and there's two outs. Here's Jaden Fisher. Jaden steps in, he grounded out 5-3. A snap throw over to first base, but McIntyre's back in plenty of time. Here comes the first pitch, and there is a hard hit ball, and the left fielder is tracking it down, and he's got it for the third out. So the Cats no runs on one hit and no errors at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The score's tied 1-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
And it is Jordan Burnett. And the first pitch bounces across home plate for ball one. Then it'll be Linderkamp, and Brown. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats, giving up one hit, and there's a swung on. It's going to go over to Hudson Williams. Hudson back up and over to Brody Crane for the out. Here's Cooper Lillenkamp, the right fielder. And I'm not sure, Matt, that the wind is not blowing right into the batter's face now. It's turned around just a little bit, and there's the first pitch for swung on, strike one. So now it's turned into a little bit of a crosswind right back out to center field. Here comes Boston's next pitch, and that's outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. Cooper Linderkamp, Blaine Linderkamp, and Nolan Brown for the Tigers, and there's the next pitch, and that's in there for call strike two. Boston kind of settling in, working at his own pace. Looks down, takes a nod yes to Ken Smith, and there's a ball blowing inside. That'll even the count at 2-2. Cats infield is back at double play depth. There's a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. And we're in the bottom half of the third inning. The score is 1-1. Comes the next pitch, and there's ball 4. So Linderkamp draws a base on balls, and here's Blaine Linderkamp, the pitcher. He'll be followed by Nolan Brown and Brady Carlston. There's the first pitch, swung on, foul ball, strike one. Linderkamp over on first base, not taking just a whole lot of a lead. And here comes the next pitch, and that's a ball low for ball one. That'll even the count at 1-1. Here's the next pitch, and that is low for a ball. Ken Smith thought that was a strike. He said, what else do we need to do?
Yeah.
So that's a ball, 2 balls and a strike. There's 1 out, bottom half of the third inning. Comes the pitch, and that one's high. Ball 3. Austin looks down, shakes his head. Here comes the next pitch. And there's a high ball. It's going foul. It's fair ball.
Fair ball.
And it looks like they're going to send him. And here comes the play back in. No, they hold right there. So Blaine Linderkamp helps his own cause with a double. Cooper Linderkamp goes all the way to third base and holds up. The ball was hit right down in the corner to right field. Nice job of getting the ball in by Rodriguez. And we're going to call timeout for just a minute.
Yeah, we're having a visit here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And we're going to have a pinch runner, and looks like that is number 32. But now Drew Osborne, pitching coach, wants to call timeout for just a minute. Let's see who that number 32 is.
32 is Carson Kinder.
Carson Kinder, the guy that was warming up over there just a little while ago. Coach Osborne comes out and he wants to huddle everybody for just a minute or two. Cats need to decide right here, do they want the double play ball if they have a chance for it and allow the run to score? If they don't get the double play ball, the home plate umpire is walking out that way. He's going to try to settle things. And Coach Osborne comes right back. So everybody's back in place, and here is Nolan Brown. Brown struck out his last time up. Boston looks down, looks over at second and third. Here comes a pitch underway, and that's a ball on the inside. Every time that umpire moves, I think he's getting ready to call a strike, and it just hasn't been there. Here, there's a close pitch, but obviously not there. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a swung on. It's a foul ball for strike one. That'll even the count at 1-1. A slow hit ball trying to get up over first base, but I think Brody Crane would have caught that ball. Here comes the next pitch, and that's low and inside for a ball. We'll run the count to 2 balls and a strike on Nolan Brown. There's the next pitch, swung on, strike 2. So that'll even the count, and Cats see some daylight here. A strikeout here would go really well. If we could strand Carthage here, then that would do something for our confidence for sure. There's the next pitch, and it's a foul ball, and it's out of play. And the count will remain 2-2. One out in the bottom half of the third inning. Boston looks down, looks over at third base. Here comes the next pitch. Foul that one off, and we'll do it again. Patterson's thrown how many pitches, man?
30. Actually 49 at the moment.
Okay, that's a lot of pitches at this point. Boston looks down, and we're going to call timeout. Brown gets out of the batter's box, and he steps back in. Boston looks over, takes a big deep breath. Here comes the pitch from the stretch, and there is a high ball. It's caught by Jaden Nichols. Nice catch. Oh my goodness, I thought it was caught. It was not. But one run will score, and a runner goes on to third. I thought that ball was caught.
No. It was a good try, though. I can tell you that.
So Carthage picks up a run, and we'll have another pinch runner for Brown. And that will be number 23, and that is
Zane Browning.
Runners on first and third.
Go, Brady.
Here's Brady Carlson. He grounded out 6-3 his last time up. Canton steps out and steps up in front of home plate to make sure everybody understands what we're going to do. There's a throw over to first base. Brown's back in time. Here comes the pitch from Boston. The race going. And Canton does exactly what we thought he would do. He fakes a throw down to second and looks over at third base. So runners on second and third. There is one out, and Carthage has picked up a run so far. Boston Patterson on the mound, Brady Carlson in the batter's box, and that's going to be low and inside for a ball. We can't see the Neosho bullpen from here, so
I don't think it's very active.
Looks down. Here comes his pitch from the stretch, and he fakes a throw over to third base and throws it back to first, but everybody's back in plenty of time. 2 balls and no strikes on Brady Carlson. There's the next one swung on, and there's foul ball strike 1. Carlson's a name you probably recognize, as he was a quarterback for the Joplin team. He has been for the last couple of years, in fact. There's a throw back to first base. Everybody's back in plenty of time. Pinch runner over on third base is Carlson Kinder. Here comes the pitch. And that was a ball. That'll make the count 3-1 on the shortstop Carlson. Cooper Jackson is up next. And then it's the DH, Howenshell. Swung on, strike 2. That runs the count full. Good crowd here of people that are fending the weather, and they got him.
Got him. Oh.
They got the runner here at second, but the run goes ahead and scores. And a pickoff play from 1 to 3, and Crane just kind of ran him down. So there's 2 outs, but Carthage picks up another run. Now the score is 3-1 in favor of Carthage in the bottom half of the third inning. Nobody on base. Here comes the next pitch, and it's fouled off. The count will remain the same. Balls in 2 strikes now. Patterson can not worry about anybody else. He can just work on the runner, batter. And there's a high ball, and Williams is underneath it. He makes the play. Nice play, even at that high with the wind blowing the way it is. There's a third out. They retired the side. However, Carthage picks up 2 more, and after 3 innings of play, the score is Neosho Wildcats 1, the Carthage Tigers 3. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. It is the top half of the 4th inning. Cats are down by a couple, 1-3, and we'll start with Hudson Williams. Hudson Williams, then Alex Rodriguez, who hit that home run to left field in the first. And then it'll be the top of the batting order. Lane Linderkamp is on the mound for Carthage. He helped his own cause with a double down into right field his last time up, and there's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike 1. Hudson steps in, he's spread out quite a little bit. Here comes the next pitch, and that is swung on. It goes right back to Linderkamp, and he's going to run and tag him out himself. So there's the first out. So 1 unassisted, and there is the first out. And here's Rodriguez. He got a hold of one and lifted it up and took off. There's a ball outside for strike 1 for the Cats' only run over the right field or left field fence. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a strike on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 1-1. 320 to left field and right field, 375 to dead center, and
no dice.
No, looked like that home plate umpire appealed on that check swing, and it was a ball, and there is a ball that's foul back. That'll even the count at 2-2. pitch from Linderkamp, and there's foul ball. Got him, strike 3. So there's the second out. And here is Finn Versluis. Versluis and then Nichols. Comes the first pitch, and it's high and outside. Linderkamp moving right along. He's thrown some strikes now, and there was called strike on the outside corner. So we've got a ball and a strike. The inside for a ball. It's 2 balls and a strike, and there's 2 outs in the top half of the 4th inning. And swung on, strike 2. That leaving the count at 2-2. And that got him. So Linderkamp basically brought back the runs a while ago and retired the side after 3.5 innings of play. The score is your Neosho Wildcats 1, the Carthage Tigers 3. We'll take time out for this, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226. Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
Bottom half of the 4th inning from Carthage, Missouri, and Carthage brings up Cooper Jackson, Alan Shell, the DH, and Langston Morgan. The first pitch is in there from Boston Patterson for call strike 1. Boston kind of pitching his own way, and there's call strike 2. It's a little curveball that just kind of drops out at the last minute, Matt.
Yeah.
No balls and 2 strikes on Jackson, and there's got him, strike 3. So there's the second strikeout for Boston Patterson and the first out in the 4th inning. Zach Hohenschel, the designated hitter, steps in. He drew a base on balls and was stranded at second base. Austin Patterson looks down, and there's the first one. That is a hard hit ball, and it is caught by Versluis. That ball looked like it wasn't going anywhere, and it traveled.
It did. It was a good catch, man.
And it was a nice catch by Versluis for the second out to retire the side. Here's Morgan, Langston Morgan. He had a base hit in the bottom half of the second inning. Cats are working on 2 outs, and there is a hard hit ball going back. Rodriguez makes the catch.
What a catch.
Nice catch once again.
What a catch.
The wind took that a long way, but a great catch by Rodriguez to retire the side. So, bottom half of the 4th inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the four-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
2, 3, and 4 hitters up for the Cats in the top half of the fifth. The third baseman, Jaden Nichols, and he looks at a ball low and outside for ball one from Blaine Linderkamp.
We need a good rally right here.
We need a rally. This is a good time for it. There's the next pitch, and there is a hard hit ball, and it's going to the right fielder, and he makes the play. So Jaden hits the ball, and it goes a long way, but the wind held that up and aided in the out. So there's a fly out. And there is the first out. Here's Canton Smith. Canton's had a strikeout, and he's had a base hit. Stranded at third base in the fourth inning. Steps in, there's the first pitch, and there's another high hit ball. Right fielder is coming down underneath it and makes the play. So just like that, the right fielder's a busy guy and 2 outs. It is Cooper Linderkamp, so I'm sure he feels good about helping another Linderkamp on the mound. Here is Drake Jennings. Drake has walked, and then he grounded out. There's the first pitch that was low and outside for a ball. McInturf up after him. Linderkamp looks down. There's the next pitch, and that's called strike on the outside corner. Jennings steps in, widens his stance a little bit, and there's a ball. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. Jennings has let 2 of them go by, and now there's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, top half of the fifth inning. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a swung on, and it is a high ball. Looks like the left fielder comes in and makes the play. So the wind is certainly Carthage friend right now as it holds those up and allows their outfielders to get in. 3 up and 3 down. We go into the bottom half of the fifth inning, and the score is 3-1 in favor of the Joplin Tigers. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
1, 2, and 3 for the Carthage Tigers in the bottom of the fifth, and there's the first pitch from Boston Patterson outside for a ball. I said Joplin Tigers a while ago. I apologize for that. It is the Carthage Tigers. Nichols walked, and there's a call strike 1. He walked and came around and scored in the first inning. Then he flied out to the shortstop. Evens the count at 1-1. Here comes the next pitch from Boston. That's high and swung on. Out of bounds, right back behind us. That makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. Oh, the wind's calmed down a little bit.
I
What's up
know.
with that? And there's the next one, and that is on the inside just a little bit, and that'll leaving the count at 2-2. Well, that wind blowing, it's almost a little bit warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boston Patterson on in his 5th inning. There's the next pitch. Got him, strike 3.
Caught him looking.
Nice pitch that time by Boston. That was that little curveball that just basically froze Nichols and came around the inside corner. Here's Jordan Burnett. He walked and was stranded at third base, and then he has grounded out. Comes the first pitch, and that's swung on over to Williams. Williams up and over to Crane for the out.
What a play.
6-3, 2 outs. And here is Cooper Linderkamp. He had a double and came around and scored in the 3rd inning. He hit the ball all the way down into the right field corner. Comes the first pitch from Boston, swung on, strike 1. Boston feeling more comfortable, Matt, I believe, as it goes along. Here comes there's the next pitch, and there's strike 2.
Well, you got to shake the wind some, you know? Seriously.
And here comes the next one, and there's just outside for a ball. So a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom half of the 5th inning. Joplin up by a score of 3-1. They scored 1 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third, and there's a swung on over to Boston. Boston over to Brody Crane.
There we go.
So the Cats get a 3 up, 3 down again, and we retire the side after 5 innings of play. The Cats are down by a score of 3-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you are growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Well, here's a little bit of an anomaly for you. Top half of the 6th inning, both pitchers have 72 pitches. Liam McInturf is up. Then it'll be Brody Crane and Jaden Fisher. Blaine Linderkamp is on the mound for Carthage. He's pitched quite a little ball game. This ball game is going fast. There's the first pitch on the outside corner for call strike 1. Well, we've been going about a minute or an hour and 15 minutes, and it's the top half of the 6th inning. Comes the next pitch, and that's outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. All the Cats have got to do is put the barrel on the ball, and foul ball strike 2.
Yeah, we just got to get some hits, you know?
Yeah, we've got to hit the ball and hit it solid. Brody Crane and then Jaden Fisher, who hit the ball a long way back on the warning track into left field, but was caught earlier. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a high foul ball. The catcher underneath it, the pitcher calls for it, and he makes the play. The wind caught that one, and he was laying down backwards when he caught that ball.
Yeah, he was.
So, nice play that time by Blaine Linderkamp. So there's 1 out. And coach wants to check and see if he's okay. Just
Well,
wants
he
to
may
look
hit
and
his
see.
head a little bit, you know.
Certainly you don't see pitchers taking those kind of risks. The catcher normally has that, but with the wind blowing the way it was, he felt like he was under it. And almost had to lay back in order to catch that. He's going to take a couple of warm-up pitches. He says, give me one more and we are ready to go. There it comes, and the batter is the first baseman, Brody Crane. Brody just struck out twice in the ball game. He steps in, he widens his stance just a little bit, and here comes the first pitch. Swung on, strike one. Brody pitched a whale of a ball game on Thursday night.
Yeah, he looked really good.
He really did. And there's a hard hit ball, and it goes to the third baseman. Third baseman is up and over, and a nice job by the first baseman in order to make the play as it went down into the, I started to say dirt, but I guess it's turf, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no more dirt.
5-3, and there's the second out. As I was getting ready to say, Brody not only pitched a whale of a ball game, he had a 2-hour rain delay as well. And anybody that can put up with that kind of adversity and still play, and there's first pitch outside to Jaden Fisher for a ball. Jaden stands in there, he backs up a little bit, and there's ball 2. Outside, the Cats are going to have to do something. It is the top half of the 6th inning, and we've got 2 outs. Hudson Williams and Alex Rodriguez up for the Cats as well. Here comes the next pitch to Jaden, and it's outside for a ball. So that'll make 3 balls and no strikes. Fisher looks over at third base. And the chances of him swinging now are just pretty slim, and it's ball 4. So the Cats get a base runner. Here's Hudson Williams, the shortstop. There's the first pitch from Linderkamp, and there's a call strike on the outside corner. Cats need to get going right here. And there's a strike on the outside corner again. So after walking Fisher on 4 straight, there's 2 straight strikes from Linderkamp. Linderkamp up, and there's the next one, and that ball is fouled back out of play. And we'll do it again.
It's a good swing.
And there's a solid hit, and that is going to drop in, and Fisher is going to go to second base. So the Cats have got something going.
There we go.
Fisher's on second, and base hit, and this is the guy that, if you'll remember, in the second inning, came up and went yard to left field. And I'm sure there's nothing would tickle him any more than to do it again. A-Rod steps in, he stretches out in the batter's box. There's the first pitch, and there's a ball outside. 2 speedsters on for the Cats, and Fisher at second base and Williams at first base. Linderkamp looks down, here comes the pitch, and there is a high ball that could be trouble for the Cats. The catcher comes down, and he does not make the play. It was a tough play. Whew. But fortunately for the Cats, wind helped us a little bit.
That was close, man.
You know, that was right here next to us.
Yeah, it was.
So we've got a ball and 1 strike on Rodriguez. He takes a big deep breath, and he steps in. Lindenkamp works from the stretch. And here comes the pitch. And there is another hard hit ball. That's going way back. Morgan is there with the play. So the Cats had something going, and Rodriguez hits the ball a long ways again, but we leave 2. So at the end of 6 innings of play, The score is the Carthage Tigers 3, your Neosho Wildcats 1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Carthage picked up 1 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third. Cats picked up 1 in the second, and that gives us a score of 3-1. For the Carthage Tigers, it's going to be Lane Lindenkamp, then it will be Nolan Brown and Brady Carlson. Lindenkamp steps in from the left-hand side. He's the pitcher of record. Here comes the first pitch from Boston, and there's a hard-hit ball over to Jaden Fisher, up with the play, and there's the first out.
Way to stay in front of it.
Nice job by Jade just to knock that ball down. You're absolutely right. Nolan Brown had a single his last time up. That was in the third inning when they scored a couple. There's the first pitch, and that's in the dirt for ball 1. Austin Patterson in the 6th inning for the Cats, as we said earlier. Each one of them had thrown 72 pitches, so they both got enough should they get outs the way they have to finish the ball game. Patterson looks down. There's a ball that's in the dirt, and that's going to make the count 3-0. Carlson and Jackson up next for the Carthage Tigers. Lane looks down, shakes his head, takes a big deep breath, and there's ball 4. So Brown gets a pass. Here's Carlton. Grounded out and flied out, and there's the first. Fakes bunt, pulls back, and calls strike 1. Cats outfield is playing pretty deep, especially with this wind like this. And here comes the next pitch, and that's in there for call strike 2. That was that little change-up curveball, Matt.
Yeah.
And
he does it well.
Strikeout would go good for the Cats right here. And there's a foul ball that evens the count, or goes back to the count of no balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes on Brady Carlston, the shortstop. Here comes the next pitch, and he just reaches out and taps it over to first base for the out. And the runner at second was there in plenty of time, so Williams doing a nice job of looking at second base, realizing that couldn't happen, so he picks up the 6-3, and there's 2 outs.
Was a good throw.
It was a good throw. Here is Cooper Jackson. He struck out his last time up. In. I don't believe there's the first pitch, and it's outside for a ball. at second base. There's 2 outs for the bottom half of the 6th inning. There's the next pitch. Swung on, strike. And I thought that was a pinch hitter. That is number 4, and that is Landon Weiss.
Landon West.
Landon West. That evens the count at 1-1. Just on the outside for a ball. He just happened to turn around so we could see his number.
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike. And that one got away.
Got him out.
Nice job. Nice job by Kenton Smith to pick that ball up and run with it and catch the runner. So Jackson West will come up again in the next inning because of a 2-5 third out. So there was no runs, no hits. There was 1 base on balls, and that runner was out at third base. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
It's the top half of the 7th inning, and Carthage has a new pitcher. Carson Kinder takes the mound in relief of Lane Lewinkamp, and it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. It's Finn Versluis, then will be followed by Jaden Nichols and Kenton Smith.
Time to rally.
Time to get going. You're right. It is top half of the 7th inning. Cats are down by 2, but this ball game is far from being out of control. Comes the first pitch, and there's a call strike 1.
Yep.
Finn looks in, there's the next pitch, and that's high and outside for a ball. Even the count at 1-1, no outs, top half of the 7th inning. Cats are down by a score of 3-1. Here comes the next pitch, and Versluis takes it high for a ball. Well, the wind has sure fooled me. I thought we'd see more balls flying out of here today, Matt.
Yeah,
you?
I did too.
There's ball low, and that is 3-1's a count. If we get Versluis on base, we can produce some runs. Here comes the next pitch from Ken, and there's call strike 2. Carson Kinder on in relief of Blaine Lewinkamp. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a high foul ball. Catcher trying to call for it. Everybody's getting out of the way, and the pitcher makes the play. So there's the first out. Here's Jaden Nichols. Nichols walked and got on and was stranded at second base. Then he grounded out and he flied out to right field. Catcher's going to stop and readjust his headgear for just a minute. Stay tuned after the ball game for the post-game show, which is being brought to you by Harvest Bank. Harvest Bank, proud to call Neosho home. There's the first pitch, and it's slowing outside for a ball. Jaden Nichols, Kenton Smith, and Drake Jennings up for the Cats. Here comes the next pitch, and swung on foul ball, strike 1. steps in. He's got a wide stance. Here comes the next pitch. And there's a ball outside. And the Carthage fans really didn't like that, but that same call's been that way the whole ball game. So 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the next pitch, and that one's in the turf. I started to say in the dirt, but it's in the
old
turf.
rug.
Yes, it was. 3-1's a count. Nichols knows he needs base runners, so he may very well take one, and then again he may foul it off. Doesn't matter what I say, it's going to go the opposite, isn't it? Nichols steps back in. That front leg is straightened out pretty good, and there is a ball that is hit to the third baseman. The third baseman is going to go over and make the play, and bang, bang, there's the second out.
Looked like it stung his hand some.
Mm-hmm, just a little bit.
He was looking at his hands running.
Yeah. So here's Canton. And the wind has picked up again. Kenton Smith has struck out. He's had a base hit, and he's flied out to right field. And there is a hard hit ball.
Nice hit.
A ground ball into left field, lined right over there. So Kenton Smith, the catcher, says, "Boys, we're not done yet." There's the first hit. Here's Drake Jennings, the left fielder.
Pinch runner.
And it looks like that is Brody Arthur. I can't tell. Looks like it may be. And we're going to take time out because Coach Berge wants to talk to his reliever, maybe settle him down just a little bit. That's number 29. Yeah, that's Brody Arthur. So while we've got time out, we will tell you that you're watching Neosho Baseball. It is the top half of the 7th inning. We're in Carthage, Missouri at the brand new ballpark. And the umpires are going to talk for just a minute as well. And now Coach Berge's done what he needs to do. And Kinder is just about ready again. It's up to Blake Jennings. Drake Jennings to go ahead and keep this ball game going. Here's the first pitch from Kinder. He looks back. He doesn't even look at first base. And there's a ball low. And Arthur's over there on first base. If Kinder doesn't happen to look, Arthur may take off. And here comes the next pitch, and there's a snap throw from the catcher back over to first base, but Arthur back in plenty of time. 2-0's the count. Here's the next pitch, and that's called strike one.
There you go. Come on, 2 more.
Kinder looks down, he pitches, gets ready to pitch from the stretch, and here's the pitch. And there's called strike two. Little off-speed pitch that dropped in for a strike. That evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, top half of the 7th for the Cats. Here comes the next pitch from Kinder. And
there you go. Good throw.
And that retires the side with a strikeout, and this ball game is over with. So the Cats lose it by a score of 3-1 with the wind blowing. As we said at the beginning of the ball game, we thought that there would be a lot of balls hit out of the ballpark, but that certainly wasn't the case. So the Cats lose one, and they go to 16-7. The hometown Tigers go to 12-7. We're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. Stay tuned for the post-game show, which is being brought to you by Arvest Bank. We'll be right back after this.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats! We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
Welcome back to the post-game show. The post-game show is being brought to you by Arvest Bank of Neosho. Arvest Bank of Neosho, we believe in the power of serving others. From a small business loan to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help you manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who will take care of you and help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank of Neosho, proud to call Neosho home. Well, Matt, it was somewhat of a pitcher's duel. Linda Camp had 4 strikeouts. Our Boston Patterson had 2, but other than that, there weren't just a whole lot of hits in the ball game either. It was a matter of who was going to blink, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seemed to be like that. And I'm sure some of this wind had something to do with, well, just the way that everybody was playing. I don't think anybody was expecting 35, 40 mile an hour winds out here, so the Cats did, they played well. It's just,
it was errorless baseball. It certainly was. We certainly tried to hit the ball, and unfortunately the wind a lot of times was not our friend because it held the ball up in the air and allowed the outfielders to get underneath it. A nice hit by Canton was a line drive into right field. He had another 2-hit performance, so we feel good about that. The Cats just couldn't score. We scored 1 in the second. Carthage scored 1 in the first and 2 in the third, and that was enough to win the ball game.
Yeah. Well, the Cats definitely left runners out there several times, and that's what we do best is running those bases. And when we can't be productive like we should be, as far as when you have people out there on the base, you really need to try to make those hits. But that's just how it is, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely that's how it is. The Cats come home on Thursday night and they play Willard, who is the number 2 Class 5 team in the state. Should be an exciting ball game. Cats really played pretty well defensively. We had one ball drop in front of Finn Versluis because the wind actually held it up and read us instead of following it out. So there were some strange things that happened. But the Cats lose it, and they take one on the chin by a score of 3-1. That makes them even up 3-3 in the COC, and we play, as we said, Willard on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So, can't think of anything else at this point.
Come out and watch us Thursday. Everybody show up for a hot dog and some baseball.
Yeah, you bet. We're excited about these Wildcats and what they're doing. They are still right in the middle of it, the meat and potatoes of the COC and then district playoff. So we will be back tomorrow, Thursday night. So until we see you then, John Ball, Matt Ball,
go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.